Hi Leo, thank you for tuning in. This is a monthly love reading for the month of May 2017. Let's see what the cards can tell us. For Leo, please. Oh, we got cards flying out all over the place. Bear with me, I know it takes a while to shuffle sometimes. But I do like to do it once the camera's rolling and I have you with me, because time is non-linear anyways, so it's helpful when I have your energies with me. Okay. Hard work, vision. Oh, a little bit of conflict. Okay. This is very interesting. Your center card, Leo, is the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is the type of person who does not let emotions get in the way, who sticks with morals and ethical decisions. He's very smart, and he only takes certain approaches when he's absolutely sure of them. He is not disturbed by emotional tendencies. So the first three cards that came up was the Eight of Coins, the King of Wands, and the Five of Wands. So that means, what that suggests to me, there is hard work, there's vision, there's leadership, there's standing in your power, there's being strong. But the Five of Wands suggests to me that could have gotten out of hand and perhaps created some conflict. So if you're in a relationship, perhaps the fact that you are so strong in your beliefs and very, even stubborn, perhaps, in your beliefs, standing very strong, they're very solid, it could have created conflict. And it's not necessarily in relationships, it could be someone at work or a friend. And following that, I have the Five of Coins, which would suggest that perhaps it created a feeling of helplessness or misunderstanding or hopelessness. Why can I not be understood? Or why is it so difficult to be so strong in my word? But yet why do I feel this way? And because the Queen of Swords is right next to the King of Swords, it could mean that there is a bit of being closed off, a little bit of, you love who you love. Or if you're single, you love your morals or your standards, you're very strong in them, but it might create a little bit of being closed off to intimacy, or being closed off to really softening up a little bit, because the King of Swords, he sticks to his beliefs, he does what is right, regardless of how he may feel at the time. But the last three cards are interesting. I have the Five of Cups, Death, and then the Two of Wands. So the Five of Cups is a feeling of disconnection, a feeling of loneliness, or a feeling of not being a part of the world. It could very well be that these disagreements or misunderstandings or conflict of opinions could render you feeling a little bit alone, or not fully a part of everything, kind of like you have to stand alone to stand in your ground, which could be causing this, being a little bit closed off to being entirely open, because it might not necessarily agree with your beliefs or the way that your ethical approaches. But because Death is right after that, it suggests to me that will come to an end, or that needs to come to an end, which will greater prepare you for even further challenges, which is what the Two of Wands is telling me. So there's hard work, there's vision, but there could be conflict as a result of that. It could even be jealousy. It could be that others are, they might not understand this point of view. They might not understand this strong approach, and there might be a little bit of conflict there, which it could leave a feeling of hopelessness or a feeling of not understanding why things are happening the way they're happening. But again, you're still going to stick to your truth, but it may cause you to be a little bit closed off. If you're single, it could be that others may not understand why you take the approach that you take, or why you turn down certain dates, or why you accept others. There's this conflict of understanding, or this a little bit of tension in opinions, and you're still going to stand that ground because, I mean, this is who you are and you're not going to change for anyone. But again, the Queen of Swords, she's smart and she's intelligent, and you can see things from a bunch of different perspectives. You see all of this that's going on around you. And it may cause a little bit of being closed off, because to either side of the King of Swords is the Queen of Swords and Five of Coins, each with a quality of, if you can see here, she has a sword right in front of her. She's kind of blocking any close approaches, like a metaphorical, there's a wall there, or there's a gate or a fence or something, don't come too close. So the last three cards, again, feeling maybe disconnected or alone or misunderstood. But there's death after that. And the beautiful thing about the death card is that means there's transformation. Once this ends, you will be ready for even more challenges. I'm going to pull a few more cards, because if I remember correctly, in last month's reading in my old channel, I did switch channels. This is my new one. If I'm not mistaken, it seemed like there was always a wall that was kept getting hit for Leos. So everything seemed to be going well, and then bam, something just had to knock you off course. And then again, you were back on the right path, and then something else really had to knock you off course. This feels like a continuation of that. There's more hard work and leadership, but there's conflict. And then a feeling of helplessness. Why can't I move forward, or why is this happening? But still, you're sticking to your guns, and you're sticking to what's right because you are strong. You are a lion, right? You're going to keep going forward, but it may cause a little bit of being closed off, or being a little less social, or even not being as trusting as you used to be, and that could cause feelings of disconnect or of loneliness. But the death card, this can all be a transformation that will prepare you for further challenges. So let's see if oh my God, there's anything else, please, for Leo, for May. Whoops, I have a card fly out here. Right, generosity and evening the scales. So it could be, oops, oh my gosh, okay, Hermit. So I didn't even need to shuffle for those cards. It came out on their own. The Six of Coins, there's generosity. You could be very generous. But what this tells me more is that there will be a balance. It's encouraging you to balance. You can be very strong in your beliefs and your morals. In a relationship, in dating scenarios, you may not want to budge, or feel that it is unnecessary to change who you are, to change how you think for the sake of someone else, for the sake of a relationship, for example, for the sake of a partner. However, the Six of Coins suggests to me balance. You could be strong in your beliefs, but realize that not everyone may be as strong in their stance. Realize that not everybody may be as strong as you are when it comes to certain approaches. Having this conflict is more with stubbornness, but have compassion. Allow those scales to balance. Maybe share your strong point of view, or share why you're very strong in your beliefs and you're not unwilling to budge. This could be very helpful to others who may have that conflict of opinion. If you are single, for example, and there's people who don't understand why you're approaching your situations in this way, approaching love in this way, approaching certain partners, approaching dating, instead of being strong and, well, that's the way it is, it could help to be compassionate. Well, this is just how I feel. It's difficult for me to change my approach, or that's not to say you have to justify, you don't have to justify anything, but being a little bit more compassionate, or having a little more empathy towards yourself, towards others, and really sharing that could alleviate any conflicts of opinion. Because if you react very strongly to someone, they will naturally react back, right? If you respect someone a certain way, they will respect you the same. We always react and approach in like. So if you're very, very strong in your opinions, someone else who may disagree will also be very strong, because that's how you came on in the first place, right? Which could relate to relationship conflicts or disagreements or tensions, But if you take a softer approach, you're a little bit more generous, metaphorically generous, a little bit more generous with your feelings or with your compassion. It could even the scales a little bit and create more balance. Now, the Hermit card also fell out while I was shuffling. The Hermit card suggests it's often a card of introspection, but what I'm getting from this card, is to really see the bigger picture by going deeper into yourself, if that makes sense. So by being more compassionate and expressing more your inner feelings, the bigger picture will change. Because there may be a little bit of closed off and a little bit feeling of disconnected or loneliness, but even expressing that, going inside and saying, you know what, I feel a little disconnected, or I feel a little bit misunderstood, or I feel a little bit hurt by what you said, because the truth is, this is how I feel, and I'm really unwilling to budge from this standpoint. And I just want you to understand that you will automatically be received in a completely different way. Let's say someone who is very dogmatic, for example, in their beliefs, who even preaches sometimes, that you don't have quite a very warm opinion or impression of. If they come up to you and said, you know what, I understand that I'm like this is just, I'm very strong in my beliefs, I really hold on to, I really felt that I was right, I really feel that it's very difficult for me to change my opinions about this, you will automatically receive this person differently. They will not only seem more human, but it will be easier to relate to them on another level. So any conflict or any, because it seems like this conflict or tension, misunderstandings or differences of opinion could be causing some feelings of being misunderstood, or being more alone than you are. And this suggests to me that it's just a matter of, softening up a little bit, Leo. You can be very strong and you can be very forthcoming, and that's a beautiful quality. But this month, these cards are suggesting to soften up a little bit, and that is not weakness. That does not make you inferior. On the contrary, it will help balance, and it will help alleviate any feelings of alienation. So if you're single and it seems like you can't find somebody, or you keep attracting people who are of a different opinion, or who kind of, you don't really connect on a certain level, you could soften up and just even accept that and be like, you know what, I have a difference of opinion. I don't agree. I don't want this blind date, or I don't want this kind of person, or I feel rejected when this happens, etc. It's always easier, and it might seem counterintuitive, but it's always easier to connect with others when we are more open, even though it may not always feel that way. So that's what I have for May, Leo. There's still a little bit of tension, but you're still very strong in your stance. And there may be feelings of being closed off, but that transformation, if there is this balance, this compassion, this softness, and this really opening up, and maybe loosening your grip on your strong beliefs. And by loosening grip, it doesn't mean getting rid of them altogether or that they become weaker. It just simply means you are more willing to entertain different thoughts, beliefs, different points of view, especially in relationships. We could be so right, And it's very possible that the partner could be more at fault. But by softening up our grip on this and really kind of opening an ear, entertaining different points of view, it could open a whole spectrum of understanding. And that will help you transform and be even more prepared for other challenges in the future. So that's what I have for you, Leo, for May. I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you next month. Thank you for watching.